UFC 114, Rampage, Evans, May 29th. Check your local listings.
And a third elite light heavyweight attempts to enter the conversation.
There's a lot of hardcore fans that aren't even aware of Rogerio Nogueira. Everyone knows about Minotauro, his bigger twin brother.
Rogerio Nogueira is looking fabulous.
He is easily as talented as his brother, and maybe even better.
He's been in Rodrigo's shadow for a long time.
Quero provar para todo mundo que eu posso ser campeão também.
I want to win the UFC belt and prove that I can also be a champion.
And international star Antonio Rogerio Nogueira battles 18-2 Jason the Hitman Brillz. The countdown to UFC 114 starts now. In addition to Rashad Evans and Rampage Jackson, two more light heavyweight contenders will enter the octagon at UFC 114. Jason Brillz, with only 2 losses in 21 career fights, squares off with international star Antonio Rogerio Nogueira.
Rogerio has had a tremendous amount of success overseas, has looked spectacular in his UFC debut against Louis Kane, and is one of the most promising contenders in the light heavyweight division.
Chegou a hora do Rogério mostrar o trabalho dele mais uma vez.
Rogerio is going to keep putting on great fights and find his home in the UFC.
If Rogerio Nogueira appears familiar, take a closer look. You may be confusing him with his identical twin, former Pride and UFC heavyweight champ, Rodrigo Nogueira.
Para Rodrigo, ele achava ruim.
Rogerio and Rodrigo were always close growing up. I mean, they were twins.
Eu me lembro que
We went everywhere together, to school, to the gym. We were never apart.
When you're twins, you have a special connection. He's always been my best friend.
Rodrigo moved to the United States when he was about 20 and started fighting MMA. 3 years later, he convinced me to do the same.
Rogerio won his first 3 fights, all by submission.
In the beginning of my career, my jiu-jitsu skills were really what held me comfortable inside of the ring. It's what got me my first few wins.
In Pride, he submitted future middleweight champ Dan Henderson.
Swiveling his hips and going for the armbar. He's got to get out. He's fully extended it, and he's going to force the tap.
One of the most legendary fights that happened in Pride was Rogerio versus Shogun.
They had a tremendous battle in Pride, which resulted in a very close decision loss.
gostaria muito de ter a oportunidade de lutar com ele de novo.
Hopefully, I'll be able to get another shot at Shogun now in the UFC. I just want to prove that I could have beat him the first time.
Rogerio studied Muay Thai and boxing, scoring 2 wins over dangerous kickboxer Alistair Overeem.
Back in the full mount, here's some ground and pound by Nogueira. Can he help that? Is the referee going to step in? And a knee by Nogueira.
The Overeem fights proved that I could stand with anybody.
Rogerio became one of the most versatile MMA fighters in the world, earning both a black belt in jiu-jitsu and an invitation to join the Brazilian national boxing team.
I've boxed competitively all over the world. I won the gold at the 2006 South American Games. A lot of confidence came from that gold medal.
Isso me deu muita confiança realmente.
In November of 2009, Rogerio fulfilled another dream, making his UFC debut against knockout machine Luis Banya Kane.
Kane is one of the most promising prospects at 205, and a lot of people thought that he was the dark horse in the division.
Nice right there.
I felt more focused, and I felt a lot quicker than Kane.
Kane is rocked, and again tries to go for the power punch.
Rogerio engaged him in a brawl and blasted him out and knocked him out.
Just missed the post. Lights out one more time. That's it. And it's over. We've seen Louis Kane take some big shots and fight some really tough guys. Nobody's ever done that to him.
I'm very happy, and I feel right at home, and I don't think I'll be leaving anytime soon.
As usual, Rogerio trails slightly behind his bigger brother, who entered the UFC in 2007 and captured the interim heavyweight title.
The only reason that he's been in his shadow is just because Rodrigo's shadow is so huge. Rogerio is on the rise.
This year, I plan to step up and prove that I am a champion too.
Antonio Rogerio Nogueira!
I think that everything happens at its right pace. And right now, it's Rogerio's time to shine.
Little Nog wins in his UFC debut.
I want to show the UFC fans that I'm here to stay. The UFC is my home. I want to win the championship belt.
Para eles que eu posso ser campeão.
Up next.
I'm going to be looking for the takedown. And then I'm going to start throwing hands. Looking for a choke.
That's it.
Then finish the fight.
Rogerio has no quit in him. And I can guarantee you that if the fight goes 15 minutes, it's going to be a full-on war for those 15 minutes.
A gente vai poder fazer uma grande luta.
It's going to be an epic fight for UFC fans.
There you go. Nice.
I got the top trainers around. They don't let me slack. I don't let myself slack.
In order to prepare for the toughest opponent of his career, Jason Brillz has gone into overdrive.
All right, let's go. I've been in the gym working on some things that I technically needed to improve on. Who better to test them out on than Little Nog? This is like a dream come true. I get to fight the best person out there that doesn't hold a title right now. It doesn't get much better than that.
What he has to deal with in this ring, it doesn't frighten him.
I've been a firefighter for a little over 3 years now.
He's dealing with dangerous situations and seeing the outcome of horrible situations.
You're picking up somebody that's been shot or a car wreck, or you're going into a fire. You don't know if somebody's inside. That adrenaline's just, it's pumping, and you're ready to help somebody. It's similar to a fight. You never know what's going to happen.
A college wrestler. Brillz enters the fight 18-2 with 9 wins by submission.
That's it. And it is all over.
In preparation for Nogueira, he's been focused on his stand-up.
I don't know if he can hang with my pace. I'm going to throw a pretty fast pace out there. If he feels some of the power that I have in my shots, he's going to be looking for the takedown.
Jogo bom, é cara que combina bastante.
Jason Brillz has a pretty good stand-up game.
Brillz lands a nice right hand there.
But I'm going to go in there and look for the knockout.
It's a very difficult fight. Nogueira is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Beautifully executed armbar submission.
He's one of the only 3 guys to submit Dan Henderson. If you go to the ground, you're going to get submitted.
Brillz just shows what a good wrestler he is.
My wrestling ranks near the top.
His control is excellent.
My wrestling will match his jiu-jitsu.
Takedown time, very nice.
I'm going to be looking for the takedown. Once we get there, then I'm going to start throwing hands, looking for a choke, and finish the fight.
Eu tenho uma qualidade técnica para poder estar lutando.
I have all the techniques. If the fight goes to the ground, it's going to be hard for me not to submit him.
Consegui nocautear essa luta.
I see myself knocking out Jason Brillz. I have the skills to do that.
This is a huge step up to fight Little Nog. The name just right there is legendary. But it's just another fight. He's just another man that I have to beat.
Quis levantar minha mão depois da luta.
At the end of the fight, I will have my hands raised by the referee.
Jason
win this fight, it would catapult it. It would put me up in that upper echelon of fighters.
Posso ser campeão também.
I want to prove that I can also be a champion.
UFC 114, Rampage, Evans, May 29th. Check your local listings.